Hey everybody, it is Jeff, and this is the indie game Legend 3D development log update 17. The last few weeks have been spent putting together a very unique new sector called the Aquatic Reservoir, which takes place underwater. Let's take a little tour. Immediately entering the sector, you can tell you are now somehow underwater. The screen is a little warbly, open space is less clear, seaweed waves back and forth, and there are lots of bubbles. If that's not enough, the sound effects are muffled and you have this underwater music that we're listening to. You move around a tiny bit slower and it takes a bit of momentum to get moving from a stop, and then you have the enemies. Starting with our nubs, they can't really swim, so they just float around. In this area, the main enemy are the guppies, which come in two flavors. One moves up and down, and the other that moves left and right. They sometimes come out of spawners in giant bubbles that you can pop before they break out. And then there's the eel. This enemy builds on our sprite snake code used for Sector 4's boss. Currently he swims around randomly, but eventually he'll come after you once you start shooting him. His head is invulnerable, but you can take out his body pieces to kill him. With every piece you take though, he starts to move faster. Definitely a challenge. This sector is full of puzzles, some more complex versions of previous puzzles, some entirely new. The electric floor of the first sector makes a return. Never mind how it actually works underwater. The most interesting hazard of this sector, though, is the vortex. These happen in certain rooms, sometimes several at once, and pull you towards them. If you get too close, you get sucked in and are taken back to your last save point. I spent a whole day getting a particle system that reads as a vortex, and it would actually be near impossible if I didn't happen to upgrade Unity. I just noticed that after the upgrade, they added orbital velocity on particles, which was basically necessary for this effect. That wraps up this sector. Even though it's not done, I moved on to... The next sector is a strange place. Otherworldly, but also creepy. I didn't have all the assets to start the map, but I started on some of the special assets in this sector. Most notably are these crystal clusters. It took a while to get the right shapes, but then I used a combination of additive and alpha transparent shaders of similar color to give it this illusion of reflective transparency. Crates in this sector are also crystal in this emerald green color. Both required a new sound that I threw together in SFXer. We'll see if Paul or Stevie can improve it. Aquatic Reservoir has a little more to do with puzzles and tuning, but mostly I'll be working on the next sector, Ethereal Sanctum. Stay tuned to see this beautiful and creepy new area and probably some other new surprises. As always, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and join us on Twitch. I'm streaming this on Twitch right now, in fact. Join us on Twitch nearly every weekday as we develop the indie game Legend 3D.